up, guys? What is up? We have got one special episode. We've got Jose Cinco on here, and I have been following this cat, I don't know, 7, 8 years on social media, and I've been fortunate to be able to meet him and then also get him to do a video for us. It is on our website, guys, or all the social media, and if you can see our two co-hosts that we have special come on. I just called them up and I said, I need you to come on as a co-host. And they said, heck yeah. But Pappy will not be here tonight because he has had a death in the family. So he has other obligations besides the podcast to go on, which is very understandable. But guys, I got to do some business, and let's talk about some bruiser baits. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Bruiser Baits. This is by far the best baits that I have been able to fish with for the past 6 years or so, and I have put in many 8 to 10 pounders in the boat. This baits last forever. Actually, the other day I went out and I caught on the big stick. I caught 12 fish on one big stick, and I have never had anything else to last me that long, with a couple of them being in the 5 to 7 pound range, guys. So make sure you go to bruiserbaits.com, use the promo code DECKTALK10 and get you some bruiser baits, guys. Let's get started with this. And so we got Jose Cinco coming on, brother. Man, what is up, man?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me on the show. I really appreciate it.
Man, this is an honor to have you on. And again, I've been following you for 7, 8 years on social media, and actually have reached out to you and talked to you for a little bit a couple of years ago. And I guess it's like 2 or 3 years ago about going to ICAST. I was wanting to meet you down at ICAST a couple of years ago. And but it is an honor to have you on here. And guys, if you don't recognize the cats that's right below me, it's my Corn Husker family. It is Jen and Dustin Muse. And right now I'm actually surprised to see that actually we have Jen with us, because she's in the process of being in first place in a kayak tournament. And she took the time out from instead of being on the water, she is actually here on the podcast. So Jen, thank you. And Dustin's with us because he smashed them last month, and he's like, I'll just let you have this one. If I'm in it, you're going to lose, so I'll let you take
qualified.
I can go target some other fish.
He qualified last night. Well, he brought a supper last night.
Yeah, I caught 3 walleye last night. Then I had another one the last time. I've just been targeting different species instead of going for bass. Kind of out of my realm, but I just been going fishing for other fish, and I guess I've been successful in catching some big wiper and all that. So it's been kind of fun, kind of doing something like that.
I'm jealous. I'm stuck, and I'm not catching those cool fish. But I am winning so far. I don't know about today. I'll have to check the leaderboard today. But I got to get bigger bass, and it's about time.
Yep. So, Jose, I want to talk to you. We had done a video at the Classic this past year in Fort Worth, and the video that you done was with the iReel 2, and just looking at that video, it looks like it may have been like your first time ever doing that video. I mean, it just kind of just flowed right in. I had never seen somebody just kind of, because it was 3-4 minute video that you just went through, and I was so impressed with you. I knew that you knew the KastKing product, but just how you just flowed right through it. And I can understand just being able to talk and just talk about the reel, but you was able to go to the screen and you was keeping up with it. And I was like, man, this to me, it got me stoked about that reel just because seeing you interact with the video and stuff, and then being able to talk about it. Man, what is your impression on that iReel 2?
So when we first started talking about it, I said it really doesn't make sense to me. And it wasn't until I put it in my hand and started using it, which was 2 iCasts ago. So that
Right.
was the first time that I actually got to use it. Took it to the on the water event, did all of that, and really saw the analytics in use. And then it was like, okay, now it's really starting to make sense. And that was a really good reel for our first iteration. So this second version, this iReel 2, it just blows it away. It was a good reel. iReel 1 was a good reel, but this iReel 2 is absolutely insane. Not only is it obviously the analytics and the microprocessors are great, but just it's our best casting and our best feeling. It's one of those reels where when you use it, you're like, wow, this is definitely KastKing's flagship reel. And of course, we're already working on iReel 3 that will be out, in a year or two. So we're going to be pushing innovation and technology in the fishing space for sure.
Yeah. Now, and one thing that got me was the 2 chips that you have in that reel, and how easy it is for you. And you explained it in the video, like you can go, like let's say you went out today, but tomorrow you're not catching the fish, and so you can go back and catch, like look at that data to where, all right, I was throwing up underneath some docks, and you can see like how far out and how the cast was and stuff like that. And then you could actually see your real speed coming in. And to me, the more consistent that you are with doing things over and over again, the more fish you're going to be able to put in the boat. And with this technology that y'all have on that is by far the best that I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely insane because replicating whatever pattern you figured out. As you guys know,
Right.
you can sit up on a point and catch them, and then the next day not catch them. Same point, but maybe the positioning of the boat is different from where you were yesterday, and then maybe your
Right.
cadence was just a little bit different. Maybe, and so also along with that, with the retrieval speed, we also show a graph of your cadence, so you can see like where did you pause? Was it jerk jerk pause? Was it 3 jerks then a pause? Was it a dead stick? And then a burn and turn, like what exactly was it doing? So it's just quickly to able to identify what those patterns were and get back on it. Being efficient with your time, really.
Right.
Does it log like a catch? Does it know when you catch a fish? Like, because your reel's going through a different form because you're trying to reel in a fish that's going against the grain. You're pulling and pulling. Does it actually log and show that would be a catch?
No, we're not. The algorithm doesn't pick that up yet, but it is a difference in the reel for sure.
Right.
So
Right.
this iteration does not log your catches, but of course that's something that we're working on.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is pretty cool. Matt Dillon says, Jose, when is a more beefier MJ12 or MG12 coming out like the deadbolt?
That's 2 different ends of the spectrum there. An MG12 is your light jerkbait reel, magnesium frame, small, more of a finesse presentation, not quite bait finesse, but more of that weightless plastics, jerkbaits, small balsa wood crankbaits. And so you're not really going to see a beefier MG12, but what you are going to see is more stuff with the deadbolt. We're actually rebranding the deadbolt to not be the Speed Demon Elite deadbolt. It's just going to be the KastKing deadbolt, and you will start seeing maybe stuff that with that deadbolt technology maybe figured into the other reels. But yeah, you won't see an MG12 that's beefier because that's not what it's made for. That probably won't happen, Matt.
Yeah. And actually, Pappy, he wanted me to tell you, he's like, man, he had ordered and he just got 2 new KastKings because he was asking me what reels that he needs to get. He's got his youngest boy. Every time he gets a reel, his youngest boy will go and take off with it, and he's broke. I think he's broke like 4 or 5 of the reels or the rods, and so he's had to get new rods and reels and stuff, and so when I told him about getting the KastKing, this was even before we even was having you to come on, and so he got 2 of the spinning rods or spinning reels, and he took them out. We went out last Friday, and he's like, "Man, these things are phenomenal." He was very impressed with them.
That's good. That's good to hear. I like hearing that stuff. A lot of it is, as we get bigger, people just need to give it a shot. Just try it out. I know even with Team Muse, I just said, hey, take these reels, please go try them out. And then, they put them to the test and they're like, hey, we love it. So it's the same thing with a lot of people. It's just like
our favorite reel. We need it. We need more.
That's all I've been using. I mean, most of the time I have a hard time switching rods just because I don't want to switch the reel.
Yeah.
It's like, I got this one for this presentation. I'm like, I'm just going to cut this lure off and I'm going to throw it on because that's my mega job.
Yeah.
I felt like we could cast across the pond the first day. We both took him out the same day. Obviously, we were together. We took him behind the lake. And Dustin, we kind of have to crawl down there. I mean, we were in a really cool spot. And we tossed him out.
First time.
We looked at each other and I'm like, whoa!
Those things cast like a dragon.
Yeah. Now you just get attacked. My cousin Josh, man, he loves your guys' walleye rods. He cannot express enough. Nebraska is a big walleye place, so he just on and on about the KastKing walleye rod. So,
Well, I do have to say something, Jose.
Yeah.
Somebody on this podcast has the KastKing purple. What is it?
It's the Royale.
Royale Pro. Yeah. And all I heard when this person got that reel,
not a sales pitch, so shut your mouth.
You cannot bird nest this reel.
I tried really hard to bird nest this reel. I really tried hard. But Dustin and I, we could not. We were in another predicament like today. And there was literally probably a football field left of fishable water because we were in wind advisory, right? So we went ahead and we fished it. But you can, if you try hard enough, you can.
She brought it to the Classic, Jose. and I was like, I asked because they brought, I don't know, 8 to 10 rods with them from Nebraska.
Go fishing.
Yeah.
and so I was like, I want to see this. I want to put it in my hand and I want to see how it feels. And she hands it to me, and this thing has the biggest bird nest in it. And she was like, I'm going to have to cut this out. And I says, why? And so I started piddling around with it. And I was like, I thought this reel you cannot bird nest. I will say, you can bird nest that reel if you're throwing it in 35, 40 mile an hour winds. It will bird nest. So it will. It took me about 45 minutes to get it out, but I did eventually get it out.
The trial was for me not to have to use your thumb. You don't have to use your thumb with this reel. I would not recommend throwing it in the wind like I did. But by far one of the smoothest, nicest, lightest. I got the spinnerbait rod, or didn't buy it. I got it from Alice. I got the spinnerbait rod. That's what I chose, and then I chose the bait caster. But it's might be my fave.
It is. It's unbelievable, especially at that price point. I mean, even though it has a graphite body, it still feels very solid. It doesn't feel plasticky I use the heck out of that reel too. The only time I don't use it is obviously when I need to shoot content with other reels. So, but that is the reel that I normally grab.
I mean, I
was very impressed. I was very impressed with how it felt in the hands, and then after getting the bird nest out and just kind of just flipping it around and stuff, and just how smooth, you really don't have, it's effortless just flipping it. And I was very impressed with it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's one of my favorites, and the rods are excellent too. You can't even tell when I put it in people's hands. I don't even tell them it's a 2-piece because they can't tell. The way that we
I
designed
know.
it.
I thought I would be worried about that. And you know what? I'm not. I felt like, honestly, this is going to sound crazy, but I felt like it had more vibration because of that rubber that was on, where it connects the 2-piece. Like, I felt like I don't know if I was crazy, but I felt like I'd feel more. And I don't know if it might have been just the sensitivity of the graphite rod. I've tested a lot of rods, guys, tons of custom rods. I've been through the ringer with rods. These are good. These are quality. And I felt like, I don't know, I kind of like a bendy rod, for certain applications, I suppose. I like to throw buzz bait too. So I need something that's gonna, there's a ton of different options out there for whatever, you want to focus on. KastKing at least has narrowed it down to give you at least, hey, here's a spinnerbait rod, right? Here's some casting gear. So I don't know, tons of cool products to look at now that we've seen them all. I mean, and new stuff that comes out. So
they got KastKing has everything for every level. I mean, you got your higher end ones and you got your lower end ones, and it's just a matter of what you want to spend and what you want to put into it. I mean, the quality's there. I mean, it's amazing. The products are amazing, and I from using them, like you said to us with the reels, go out and test them and tell me what you think. They are quality. They are quality reels.
I've kind of been blown away by the quality. I think, as I don't know, and we have to kind of reverse back 2-3 years because we've started this a couple of years ago talking to you about all this stuff. Even then, things have come so far. Oh my goodness, a lot of change. I noticed tons of change. But I don't know. I'm excited to see, what you guys have coming up next. Like, there's a storyline, and there's always a plot. There's always definitely things that are coming out from KastKing that everybody kind of wants to get their hands on. So I don't know. Tons of new products. I know we both got a cool product. I don't know what you all can say about it, but you talk. It's your show.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. You guys saying that. And the biggest thing, I know a lot of people, when we do come out with this higher end stuff, we were known as a cheap brand back in the day, and we were. And even when I first associated myself with KastKing, I mean, that was when I first met you guys. That was like a long time ago, 2017 ish.
Sure.
And and people were making fun of me for being associated with KastKing. I got a lot of flack on it, but I saw something, and the way they treated me and how great they were, yeah, I made that jump from a brand ambassador to brand ambassador manager to community brand manager, now the content marketing manager for KastKing. I've stuck with them because I've seen it, and
Awesome.
I bought into it. I bought into everything they were doing it, and I went all in on it, and yeah, we have a lot more stuff coming out. We're gonna have something really nice coming out for iCast. So I definitely want you guys to be there at iCast to do a full video and try it out and everything. And hopefully we could have Team Muse, make an appearance at the booth and do a few spotlight videos and stuff also. Do all that stuff. But it's crazy what we have coming down the pipe, considering that reel that's coming out. And then of course the next version of the iReel 2 when that comes out also. But yeah, biggest thing I also want to tell people is that it doesn't matter your budget, KastKing has something for you.
Yeah.
You got $30, we have a reel for you. 40, 50, 60.
$30 will buy you the best darn bag tackle bag you've ever had. Like, holy cow, I have the carry-all. I believe I have the carry-all.
The carry-all's
I
great.
want you to know that Dustin and I take turns hauling this thing around.
Well,
we love that.
I have the plastic. That's what we're carrying all of our stuff in.
I love that. It comes with your boxes, your cleanup boxes inside, which is bonus. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And it sets up. It really is a nice tackle bag. It is so quality. The zippers. First of all, I'm a big stickler about bad zippers. No bad zippers on this. Everything's covered. Holy smokes, what a good product. We enjoyed all the products so far. I haven't found anything that was really not something that I've really totally, liked. So I got lucky and asked me to test a few things, but holy cow.
Right. One of the first reels that I actually learned how to throw a bait caster on was a KastKing, and because I'm a shallow water angler, I mean if I'm 12 feet and shallower is where I feel comfortable, and
Same. Yeah.
and so and so I and being in Chattanooga and on Chickamauga, at that time there was a whole lot more grass than what there is now. But so I wanted a rod that I can do a lot of flipping with, and so but I also wanted it to be multi to where I can use. And so I got a frog rod because I knew that I'm going to put braid on it. I'm going to be flipping it into this cover. I'm going to flip it into grass. So I needed something with some backbone. And but I mean, to be honest with you, I love the rod, but the real, and this was, I don't know, maybe 12, 13 years ago. Maybe it may have even been longer than that. I really don't know.
Well, it probably
But
wasn't too that long because we've only been around 12 years. So,
so then, I mean, it
our
was,
very first stuff. Yeah.
yeah. But the reel was so bulky, and I didn't care too much. I mean, I don't have that big of a hands. I'm not that tall either, or anything like that. So, but the reel did not fit well into my hands, and but then to see the progress over the years of what they're more sleek, they're very compact now, and then to be able to throw them from, especially from that first reel that I've got now to the ones that I have now are, I mean, they're
Night and day.
night and day difference. I mean, and I mean, Jen and Dustin and I, we've talked about it. Like, I mean, the reels now, even the lower end reels, I mean, will compete with the other big name real companies and stuff that with the quality. I know that a good buddy of ours, Gene Jensen, uses them, and if I know that if they can last a year in Gene Jensen's hands, there's some quality. That's quality reels. I mean,
Oh,
because
100%. He's a stickler about his gear, to say the least.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I do want to talk though, because it was very interesting that y'all got into this line. I want to talk about the line that y'all have, because it kind of surprised me that y'all went that way a little bit, because you really don't see any other company going from, and it makes sense to go from a rod and reel company to get into the line. And that line that I have gotten some of it, and it is some pretty stout line. I mean, even like I think what
is it? The tripolymer?
Tripolymer?
yes.
Oh, so actually, getting into fishing line is how we actually got our start.
Really?
Yeah, so Superpower Braid is what we came out with, and that was Tate, the founder and CEO. That was his business plan from the beginning. Was, hey, I know these companies, I can produce. I'm not companies. I know these manufacturers. I can get to the manufacture something. So the Superpower Braid, that was our first. That kind of put us on the map, especially on Amazon. That was for a long time. We're getting back, but for a long time that was the number one selling braided line on Amazon, and we're getting back there. We're starting to push it more now, but that Superpower Braid, yeah, that was our big earner for a long time. That was our first, big money earner. That put us kind of on the map. And so with the line now, shoot, you guys have been in the fish game for a long time. Do you guys remember Tough Line from a lot of people lived by
That's
Tough
Stren.
Line.
I think that's Stren, isn't it?
What's that?
Isn't that Stren?
No, it was with Western
By Stren?
Filament and all that. Yeah. But that tough line, that's what a lot of people just swore by. Well, the guy that invented that, right? He's the one that pretty much brought braided line to the forefront to commercial fishing, right? He didn't necessarily invent it, but he's the one that brought it to bass fishing and all that stuff. That guy that created that had Western filament, that had tough line, he's the guy that designs our fishing line. So we're talking about 30 plus years as the owner, president, founder of Western Filament. He came to KastKing, and he's the one that invented tripolymer. The biggest thing why he wanted to come to KastKing is because we're able to push it. Being a challenger brand, being a not small but large, right? We can do those things. We can come out with something. We can make an iReel too. We can make this and that. So he came over and said, I want to make a tripolymer. And the tripolymer line is, it's called monofilament. I think sometimes that kind of scares people away from it, but it's not really monofilament because there's no stretch on it. It's low light refraction. It's just like fluorocarbon, but it's not as finicky as fluoro. Obviously, if you tie
it has the benefits of monofilament, but it's still like a fluorocarbon.
And it is
mixed breed of it.
Phenomenal. So it's a tri-head excursion with 3 different nylons. And those 3 different nylons, when they're brought together, obviously one is for strength, one is for durability, one is for this and that or the other. And the way it comes together, it's phenomenal. I don't even use fluorocarbon. I only use tripolymer if I have anything that isn't braid. And when it comes to braid, all I use is the hammer braid, or the Hammer Alpha 9 or the regular hammer braid 4 carrier. And our line is, especially at the price. I mean, it's like $5.99 for a spool or something crazy like that. It's ridiculous. Yeah. And so I absolutely love it. Everything from my bait finesse stuff to higher 25 pound that I might need for something crazier. It's all I use is that tripolymer and hammer braid. That's all I use.
Yeah. And Josh says that, so I just got 2 casting reels today. So that is awesome. And I'll tell you this, Josh, you're going to love the feel on that rod or the reels, and just start yanking them in. Let's see. We got Matt Dillon says we need the bassinator back. Let's see. Milton says, I first started with KastKing monoline and got hooked on KastKing.
Oh yeah, Milton is the KastKing addict. He has everything. He has stuff before I have it. Sometimes he used to ask me questions. He'd be like, "Hey, I just got in. What do you got this in? What do you think about it?" I'm like, "I don't know. I haven't used it yet, but you have it before me." So a lot of this stuff, it's hard. It's hard because we come out with so many different items. It's hard to stay on top of. I stay on top of it as far as using it, because how we are. We like to use something and we like to be comfortable with it versus just kind of switching things up all the time. So, but yeah, Milton is a hardcore KastKing fanatic for sure.
And it's amazing to see the growth, especially in the social media that KastKing. I think they're probably this is just my opinion, they're probably one of the best fishing companies that's taking advantage of what social media can do, and to be able to grow a platform. They've done that probably the best that I have seen. And I mean, I've been doing YouTube and other kind of social media work for a while, and usually you'll see something where they post something maybe once a week or something like that. It's always something with KastKing that you're always seeing something new pop up. It's some kind of video or product that's coming out. I think that KastKing has done very well with that.
Thanks. I appreciate that. I have an excellent team. All of us. I think the biggest difference between us and a lot of different companies is that everyone on the U.S. marketing team, we all actually fish. And, getting more and more into the industry, you'll run into people that you're like, you guys don't even fish, and I get it. You could still understand a lot of different things and obviously analytics and what works and what doesn't work. But at the core, understanding your audience, you have to understand your audience. So that team that that has been built and that I help manage is we're all phenomenal. We're all phenomenal in the fact that we actually fish. We can create whatever content is needed, whether it's on the water, product explanation, educational stuff. We can do all of it, which is super rare. And even from our headquarters, she constantly says like, any company out there would kill to have the team that we have between like myself and
Yeah.
and all the others that you see on they would kill to have a team that and we're pumping all of us make one video a day. Who else can do that? You have 3 people that are making minimum one video a day, which is insane.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is that I think you hit the nail on the head, Jose, is I've talked to people and I've gone into like bait and tackle shops and stuff, and that maybe like to where I've gone out of town, and I love going to local bait shops and stuff. And one thing I cannot stand is like going to a place like that and then the people not knowing what's going on and not be able to, I mean, because I'm not, when you go, you're not asking for like where's the best fishing spot. You going in there and asking like, all right, what kind of baits do I need to be throwing in this area? And so when you have somebody that's knowledgeable about fishing that goes out and fishes themselves, to where just like how like what I said earlier about that video with the eye reel too. I mean, you can tell that you knew what that eye reel did. I mean, you explained it, and it's just so smooth and fluent that you went right through it and did not even hesitate. I think, like even in the video, like you're talking and somebody starts getting into the picture with you, just walking by, and you can just see that you're still talking. You just kind of push them out of the way, just keep on going, and you can tell that you know your stuff, and the people that y'all have around you with KastKing knows the product themselves as well. I mean, even with Jen and Dustin, like I don't know too terribly much about KastKing besides what I've put in my hands and what I have tried out myself, and what I've been able to use more of the KastKings. Jen and Dustin came to Gunnersville not too long ago, and I've been able to use more the newer product that they've been able to get, and both of them has also like they'll start breaking the reel down and like tell me what this reel does and how what best applications it is for this reel, and I'm like, I didn't ask for this, guys. I just want to fish with it. And they just like,
We know a lot about the ones we have. The ones we use.
right. And so, but I say that just to let you know, I mean, that I totally agree, because that's something that I noticed. And I love seeing companies, because it's not anymore like how back, like when we were growing up, how you'd go to a bait and tackle shop or you see the TV commercials or anything like that. Social media is what's driving fishing the industry right now. And y'all have made that transition. And I know that y'all have accepted more of like the guys that are doing the YouTube and stuff like what Jen and Dustin does. And that really shows. And because I know like tournament fishing wise, like uh other big names, I don't want to name any big names, but you know what I'm talking about, to where they did not want to give anybody social media wise, they did not want to kind of give them any kind of sponsorship or even anything, because they're like, well, that's not going to grow our business. And y'all just picked up and ran with it. And that has been, I think that's what has put y'all by far, in my opinion, way above everybody else.
Oh, absolutely. At the classic, I was getting those questions a lot because they'd come up to me, and obviously they'll know me as Bait and Bougie or whatever, and then they'll look over and they're like, "Is that Ryan Rigg hanging out?" And they're like, is that, Hunter Dubs from TikTok? And I'm like, yeah. And then like, is that so-and-so? And, is that Fluke Master? And like, they'll kind of look at me like, how do you have all the biggest names here at the booth? And I said, well, I was like, actually, a lot of people only see the funny stuff online. They don't know the back end that we actually work and we actually have a real job here in KastKing, but they see that. And so, yeah, also building that group. Are there tons of people that want to work with us? Yeah, and I'm not trying to sound bragging or anything, but there are tons of influencers, creators, pros that want to work with us. But if you don't fit our vibe, like we don't let you mess it up. Because one thing I will tell you, and I know you guys saw it, every single person that walks up, whether they're just a fan, whether they've never used this stuff, I treat every single person the same, and every one of us does. Like it could be a young kid, it could be an old man, it could be a male, female, no matter what. As soon as they come up, hey, what's going on? Hey, my name's Jose. How can I help you? And we do that with every single person. I know I've personally walked up to other booths, obviously not wearing my KastKing gear or whatever, just walking as Jose, and they kind of make you even feel like they don't even want you there or to talk to you. And you will never experience that at the KastKing booth. Every single person we treat with the utmost respect. We treat amazingly. And that's the family vibe that we have. And that, honestly, that's how we're going to continue to grow and win, is because we're creating that family and that community behind the brand.
Yeah. Now, I know at the Classic, y'all should have had a bigger booth. I'm just saying, because every time that I went,
we could have had a bigger booth. It wouldn't matter.
You had to sharpen your elbows just to kind of get through, and with having media credentials and stuff like that, I mean, it gets me into a lot of places even earlier, and I'm able to talk, and then Jen and Dustin going and coming to the Classic with me and doing their thing. And it was so amazing to see them work and be able to do their thing and be able to get when we all got up there to the KastKing, and just like what you said, it was amazing to see the big name people that y'all have. Just that it was, I mean, you could not have them all up there at the same time, because it would have just caused a big old traffic jam. I mean, when Gene was up there and when Bill was up there, and I know that I talked to TJ.
Yak Pack.
Yak Pack, yeah. I talked to him, but everybody just, I mean, not just because I had media credentials and they were wanting to make sure that they get some kind of content out by KastKing. It was, y'all were coming up and talking to me just to talk. It was not to where, and I mean, when I first hollered at you, or you came up to me first, and then we were talking, and then, I mean, we probably talked 10, 15 minutes, and then I was like, hey, can I get a video? And I mean, you nailed the video. I think I ended up with like 4 different people giving me videos and stuff. And I didn't even ask Jen and Dustin to even do a video, because I was like, I got them covered.
I didn't even really see him doing it.
So,
but I had no plan in that. I did not plan any of that, for sure. It's all you, bro.
But I mean, again, and that, to me, that did show that family, to where it is like y'all are all working, you're on the same page, you're working together, y'all have a goal, and you know what the goal, how to be able to reach, and everybody was working together, and it looked like y'all were actually having, y'all were enjoying the time there at the Classic. And I know one thing I have never seen, it's so many broads that was walking out that Classic at the expo.
There are so many people out. What are those people walking out with those broads with the flag? I'm like,
KastKing was definitely the talk of Bassmaster. Like, they stole the show for sure.
It was the KastKing Classic, and I will share this. I've had a few meetings with Bassmaster, And they're even coming from them, they were like, you don't understand how much of an impact KastKing actually made at this. And so to hear that actually from them, I thought maybe we might get a little bit of backlash.
They're not even going to get people through the freaking doors next year. It's going to be wild.
Well, we won't do another giveaway like we did.
No, like it will just be that it happened last year, come this year, and it will just be word of mouth. It'll be wild. Yep. I still think even without the rods, you're still getting that traffic.
Well, we drove the traffic upstairs, and they recognized that people wouldn't even have gone upstairs if it wasn't for them to come up and see KastKing. Right. A lot of people didn't even know there was an upstairs.
That's smart marketing right there for sure.
So we had that, and our push is hopefully we can make it happen. We want to be on the main floor for Knoxville, but we showed that, hey, we're here to stay. We mean business, and we want to be on the main floor. So hopefully we can have all that happen. But yeah, was there a lot of unhappy companies? Sure. Was there a lot of unhappy retailers, this and that? Sure. But, to hear it from industry professionals and to hear it from Bassmasters themselves to say, you guys freaking killed it. And we killed it. And, I wish you guys would have went to Red Crest, even though it was a much smaller.
We were just off by a little tiny bit. We should have planned it a little better. If I would have known that, I mean, Colin's just now like my upstairs secretary here to tell me when all these are. Because I don't live in the east. I live in Nebraska.
We're in the center of.
We're dead
in the center
like,
everywhere. But
I
in the
never
middle of
know.
nowhere.
Like your social media, you guys think of it like this. Think of social media like the map of the United States, right? I'm telling you, in the dead center, there's no news for no one. Okay, so like it doesn't know if it wants to put you with East Coast or West Coast or it can't decide.
Canada or Mexico.
I know. Like they're trying to decide what we should do, and based on gosh, I mean, I wish I would have planned it a little better because we for sure will try. Colin lives there, so we'll just stay at Colin's house. We'll for sure try to go to we'll for sure try to do Red Crest again. He's close enough.
Do you know where next year's Red Crest is going to be?
I don't think they've announced it yet. And I will tell you this.
So. Too. See, guys, I'm kind of behind that. I didn't realize. I guess it does.
Media credentials with them because they treat you like kings and queens.
That's what he said. He called me to tell me that. So we got to remember that for sure.
I mean, I've got a Optima lithium charger sitting right here. They were like, "Hey, you need to take one." I was like, "Why?" They're like, they donated it to everyone with a media pass, and I was all right. And they had food, drink.
That's awesome.
And like, I mean, they're just like pushing stuff on you, and I was like, they had a shuttle, so you didn't have to worry about driving yourself to the launch.
Oh, heck yeah! No, I love that.
Private vans take us everywhere, and I was like, "Why did I even rent a car?" Like,
that would be out for Red Crest. You guys will have to tell us where it's at next year.
It was awesome, and they're amazing. Their PR team. I mean, it's like they were like constantly, Jose, what do you need? Jose,
now I'm excited about that. You told me that's the second one on it. Yeah.
Heck
yeah. They were great. I really recommend you guys, especially from the media standpoint, like to go to Red Crest because they treat you awesome.
Heck yeah.
Well, I went to the first Red Crest that I went to was when they were at Lady Lake 2 years ago, and they handed out the Bubba scales to the media people.
You didn't tell us that part.
And they were just handing them out. Like we had to sit there through like a little demonstration type deal. But then they were like, here's a $200 scale. Here you go.
I have fished almost every bait, the Yamamoto kits that we got at Bassmaster this year. Oh, I crack into one, something new all the time. I'm like, what is this? Like, woo! I try fishing. There are some badass baits in there in some of those packages. So I've been catching fish and then I'll post about it because I'm like, look what I got. I was stoked to get all those cool things. I didn't have time to pick up a ton of stuff, but I mean, the only thing I did take home was we took home some new KastKing rods from you. We have been using them.
That's one I got in my hand all the time.
Yeah,
I decided on a video. I haven't posted yet because I don't want any hole buzzers taking my spot.
We got some hole buzzers.
I had to wait for the fish to move out, but I shot one. I just did a whole thing about the Royal Select rod, and I'm like, first cast, as soon as I did it, boom, huge wiper.
So we were excited.
So
you
I got
us
it.
It would work for frogging, so we've been using that.
Oh yeah, the ones I specifically got for you guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are great. Those were our flagship rods. Those were my favorite rods for a long time, and that's why when
They're
we're giving
nice.
them away, I was all, huh? Like those were my favorite rods. But
So we
that's
actually enjoy them. We feel like it's it's definitely good for frogs. I've been catching it I mean, gosh, I'm gonna tell everybody who's all watching. Anyway, I've been catching them off.
we have right
so-
now 1,800 people watching.
nice.
Oh, I knew there was a lot.
Incredible.
I
Well,
knew there'd be a
no
lot.
one's going to come to the basket to stock our fishing holes.
Oh, I know. We don't live in Nebraska.
Yeah.
That's
They live
awesome.
in that Nebraska. That's just right below North Dakota. So
Yeah. Yeah,
Hush your mouth.
So Matt Dillon says, and it was a question a while back. Says, Jose, can you talk about that sweet kayak you just got for a few?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. So with that, obviously Jen knows Alice. We were in a meeting, and she says, Jose, why? We're very analytics driven, right? She said, why is kayak fishing and kayak bass fishing searched so much? Obviously, they don't truly understand. And I was like, well, I was like, I kind of broke things down. I said, $60K on a bass boat, or
That's cheap.
1,600 on a kayak, like then
Yeah.
that's the price of it. That's just the price of entry is much lower. And
Right.
kind of just went over this and that. And she said, is there any way we can kind of jump into that? Obviously, so like right now we're under a lot of budget constraints, obviously with things going on, political and trade and things like that. So of course we want to work with more creators, but they were like, hey, let's kind of keep this in house. Can you do a kayak 101 series? And I said, yeah, of course. So I've created this series, and I'm going to start editing all the episodes soon. Probably tomorrow I'll start editing, but it's Kayak 101 powered by KastKing. So obviously I was getting hit up all the time anyways. Hey, just pick out a kayak and then, go pick it up at your local retailer. But when we signed Drew Gregory, it just kind of made sense, right? So why would I not utilize one that's not only used but designed by our pro? And of course, anyone in the kayak scene better know who Drew Gregory is, because he's just absolutely been killing it for the past X amount of years.
Yeah.
So Drew called me out of the blue anyway, somewhere, and I said, hey, what's the price? Can we do this and that? And he's like, yeah, I got you. He's like, go pick up a Shoalie. So I went to OKC Kayak, and that's Shoalie. So I will tell you this right there. This is my second kayak. This Shoalie is outstanding, even though it's really marketed as a river / small body of water. It's a phenomenal kayak.
How long is it?
And the biggest thing, what I liked about it, is that it came with the deck padding, right? That was already on there. And usually that's a $250 option on most other companies or more. It already had cup holders. It already had, it came with the Yak Attack, the roto grips for your paddle. It had everything. The only things you needed was, it has rod holders on it already. I mean, there's a staging system where you lay it down, but it's had everything you need. All you needed was a PFD, a paddle, and your fishing gear. And you can get on the water immediately. You're not having to go, oh, well, I still need to buy this, and I need to get this, and I need to get this, and I need to get that. It's super stable. It's wide enough where, I'm 210 pounds, 205 pounds. I'm able to stand on it, no problem. And plus it's already built for upgrades. So obviously it's got your points and tracks on it for whatever you want to do, whether it's a bow or stern mounted motor. Drew thought of everything on it. So he did a great job doing that. And it just made sense that we would partner with Crescent for this deal. And I absolutely love it. And they're happy with the content, even what I've just been putting out on my chat, my own social media. So yeah, it was just a win-win. And it's just a beautiful kayak. I love it. And being on the lighter side, only being 70 pounds versus a lot of kayaks can be like the one I had before this was 100 pounds with nothing on it. It just gets cumbersome. I'm an old man. I'm 41 years old. I hate doing, what I mean? It's just lifting it, and it's awkward versus this is like, it's very easy. I'm not fatigued, and it's very responsive too. I hate being on kayaks where you got to get a lot of momentum going for it to do what you need to do. These are very responsive, light. I love it, and it's really opened the door back up for me to fall back in love with kayak fishing.
Yeah, I mean, because
Okay, welcome back.
and
It's about to go crazy for you, and you know it.
Right.
It
Yeah.
is.
And it's crazy to say this, but I honestly believe that COVID actually helped the kayak industry.
Yes, it did.
Um,
And it helped
and
the fishing industry. It did.
I mean, well, I mean,
It skyrocketed the fishing industry because people that never fished before started fishing. You go to a fishing aisle, and
Kinda like-
lubers are out of stock. It's like, what's going on? This isn't toilet paper and paper towels. Come on.
Yeah, but we also stopped
Yeah.
sharing. Like we had to start sharing our spaces with a bunch of new people
Yeah.
that
You
were
go to a
everywhere.
lake and there's more people
For
fishing
sure.
you ever saw in your life.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that COVID stuff kind of dropped off now. That's why the industry's hurting, right? Because they saw the
Right.
highs, and that's why you had all these private equity firms come in and buy up all these companies, and now they're like, oh, wait a minute,
Yeah.
nobody
Yep.
really fishes like that. So it'll start to level. It did. Did it help? I mean, did it kind of boost kayaking? Absolutely, it did. But now the real ones are still there, and unfortunately, with the boosting that, we still need to start supporting our local kayak shops. I know that they're hurting compared to a lot of the big box stores jumping into this
Right.
and all that stuff.
I mean, 'cause
Well, but that's going to give all these local people a chance to go through their stock because everybody has a lot of stock from last year, a lot of stock that they need to get rid of. Start moving that product. That's the way out, I think, of that kind of ordeal is to move that product. And we can't expect, brand new stuff until we buy what they have now. I think that's probably the biggest advice. Keep buying what they have. Keep buying local, so this stuff keep your prices down. But maybe these retailers can make it to where prices are just right. That's kind of a thing because
Prices are just right. But even like the video I made where I talked about OKC kayak, I said if you ask 10 different kayak anglers, you're going to get 10 different answers on what
for sure.
kayak's the best, and unfortunately, it is kind of like the bigger pro scene where it's like, oh, well, this is the best. And it's like, well, is it really, or is it,
It may be the best for you, but will it be the best for me? That's why I always say try it before you buy it because you want to know what you're getting into. You want to set in the seat.
A big box retailer because you're going to go in there and it's going to be some younger guy or maybe even some older guy helping you. That's like, I don't know, I just work here versus you go to kayak.
Never even been on a kayak before.
You could see every single one, and they might tell you, "Hey, I know you had your heart set on this, but why don't you try this?" Or hey, give us your driver's license and sign this contract, and you can actually go try it, and bring it back to us,
Well, because a lot of them, the kayak shops will do demo days a couple times a year. And that's like I've talked to Gene about it, and when we've had him on, he that's one thing that he's like, if you're looking to get into not just to get into like a bona fide or whatever, just go to a kayak shop and go to their demo days, and he says they'll have kayaks out to where you can just go and get in them, try them out, because what works for him may not be what works for you. And so go to them demo days and you can try whatever you want and see what best fits you.
100%. And I also like to tell people get a kayak that you can upgrade and build along with, because a lot of people will go directly for a Hobie or something like that. Then they'll quickly realize, hey, loading that thing on top of my SUV sucks.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
Then they got to look for a trailer.
If there is so much to it, right? This is not for everybody. I promise you, it's not. There's a skill set that is involved. And it depends. Like you can start, and if you just want to stay shallow and fish for smaller panfish and stuff, that's a start. But I mean, eventually, your body. I mean, we started in some of the crappiest kayaks, really, you guys.
We're in Sun Dolphins.
Yeah, they were just toys, but we were really into fishing, so we didn't care.
I mean, we're where the boats can go.
As soon as we got those, it was a whole. We were like, wait a minute, there is something here. We were so quiet, so still, and I promise you, they were all but like 20 pounds. Like, I really wish it could go back to that just because I'm getting old and I don't want to carry that crap either. But I want you to know that we caught so many fish. Like, everything just changed. It was a different world. And you're by yourself. You really kind of had, there was, we started to kind of compete later on. But you guys, we went through the ringer. Like, we definitely tried out the toys. We tried out the stuff that really was not said it wasn't a toy. Yeah. But we also got in some hairy situations in some sit inside kayaks. And I vowed one day, I was like, oh, heck no, I'm never doing that again. We were approached by our company and got really lucky and joined that company. And oh my gosh, we enjoyed and absolutely have loved our kayaks. Oh my gosh, it's changed our lives. I mean, it literally, we got really focused on it and, became fishermen out of the deal. And I'll tell you what, we love the kayaks. We still love those kayaks.
And here we are. We used to paddle, 5 miles.
We did used to paddle.
You can upgrade because now they got kayaks, so you can upgrade.
We have motors now.
So now you can go motorized.
Justin drives with his feet.
You drive with the thumb.
And I drive. So you got, but guys, I waited. I was married for 22 or 20.
20.
It was 20 years. So I traded off a big giant
new wedding ring.
Yeah, but I got a trolling motor instead. So that's what I've been doing. And now, that's kind of the way, though. I mean, you're, like I said, Jose, you're in for a real big surprise.
Well, I'm not. And with yours, with the shoulder, you're going to find out. You're going to be like, oh, what else could I put on this that I could use to make it more fit my needs versus, what everybody else does. And you're going to start.
But we want you to
go the way you want to.
You're paddling like we did. You're going for it because we had to. So you paddle.
My last rig was motorized. I put a motor on it and everything. My wilderness systems that I had, it was motorized. But this one, so what I'm doing with this one is I want to slowly modify it, even though I have like tons of stuff that
it's still a cool river kayak though.
I want to still slowly upgrade it and document everything. Like I just shot my first 3 accessories, right? And all it's going to be is an additional rod holder, an anchor, and a kayak cart. And that's it. Because I want it to make it more believable. And so for when the episodes start coming out, people will start seeing because it's hard. It's easy to get wrapped into the whole like, oh wow, look at that kayak. Oh well, now I feel some type of way because this guy has 3 screens on his, a bow and a stern motor. It's so we want to show it. Hey, let's bring it back to the beginning. Let's slow roll it and slowly show all of our mods.
I want you to understand, if Dustin and I can do it with 2 children, you will be able to set yourself up eventually. Look, we've done a lot of trying. You have to try a lot to get to this kind of level. I've never stopped trying. You have never stopped trying. You will never stop trying, even when you get to a certain. And I'm not saying we're at a level. I'm just stating there's some skill that is involved in some of this stuff. You have to be smart. You can't. We have got ourselves in some hairy situations, almost sucked up by tornadoes while we're out there. Bad storm, getting lightninged on.
Mm-hmm.
I remember. Dustin and I just about got us completely stormed on the other day because he didn't see around the corner like the storm coming.
I was up in a cove and I didn't see no weather.
You didn't see it.
There's trees and that's all you see.
I'm whistling. I'm like, come on,
I don't have cell service, so she's trying to get a hold of me.
Nothing.
I can't hear nothing. I'm fishing. I'm like,
you guys, I resorted to old school. When your mom whistled for you with your mouth to get you back to the door. Are you about to get your whooping?
Yep. The lights came on.
The lights are Mom was like, woo, woo. I whistled and I'm like, there's a storm. He's like, I'm coming. I heard him clear down the cove. But we've gotten ourselves in we got ourselves in a flood. Crazy stuff. We have to be prepared. You do.
We got the traveling fisherman says, hey, y'all. So he's actually on his way. He's moving.
He's going to
Alaska.
Wow.
And so
no more Florida.
Safe travels, brother. And enjoy watching those videos. Enjoy watching your lives. So thanks
We're waiting for the pictures.
And but Jose, I cannot have you on and not have you tell us where can people follow you on social media to be able to keep up to with what the videos you're putting out? So what's the best way for them to follow you? And I'm going to put in the description, all his links in the description.
Oh, absolutely. So obviously Instagram, Bait and Bougie, right? That's kind of was my claim to fame, especially when after COVID, when 21, when short form content started to take off. That's when I locked in, because like I said, I was a brand ambassador manager, and it's hard for me as a leader to tell people, hey, you need to grow on social media if I'm not actively doing it myself, right? So that's when I
Right.
locked in, and then all of a sudden, hey, me talking crap, me being an idiot, just kind of took off. And so, yes,
Oh,
that's where I'm most active now at, I think I'm at 64K, but I'm also posting a lot
he
more.
is not joking. He is not joking one bit. It is funny, dumb, funny, good, funny, spit your coffee out, funny. You gotta watch it.
But now I'm more active on Facebook. I think I just got 20K on Facebook because
Yeah, good job.
Meta actually reached out and said, hey, can you start posting on Facebook? We'll pay you bonuses. So I was like, don't threaten me with a good time. So I started.
It does work. So you will get it. You got to do it right.
Oh no, I've earned just in the last month more than I've earned on Instagram ever. So
it's way better than on Instagram. It is way better.
That's doing well. Of course, subscribe to all the KastKing socials.
Sure.
I'm all over that stuff, and a lot of the videos I'm making are actually for KastKing Southeast Asia. So you probably won't be able to watch a lot of those, but that's a lot of the stuff that I'm making too. So all the KastKing socials, that's where if I'm not posting, of course, those two different personas, right? Like the Bait and Bougie guy is pretty rough versus the ones you're going to see, the polished Jose Cinco in the studio doing very.
Where are you putting the kayak stuff? It's all going to be on Bait and Bougie too?
What? No. So that's going to be on the KastKing YouTube channel.
Okay, got it.
But I'm still, of course, going to be making my own stuff that
Sure.
Drew actually loves it, and Crescent loves it when I'm kind of being a goofball with it on my own. Like when I blessed it with the white monster instead of, So people are loving that stuff. So that's pretty much where I'm at. And anybody, but even if they see me on Facebook on my regular profile, they could add me. Colin, like you said, you reached out to me before. I talk to everyone. I reach out to everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Facebook Messenger is a little weird. Sometimes I get notifications, sometimes I don't. But
yeah, mine is the same.
Yeah, anyone could just always reach out to me, shoot me a DM. I always respond and talk to everyone.
Now, we've got over 1,800 people watching live on 7 different platforms.
That's incredible.
So I would like to get a message from Jose tomorrow and be like, man, thank you. These guys just blew it up. So I want everybody to go over there and just because you're either on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. So all 3 of the platforms is platforms that he is on. So get on them and just start following, and let's get him some more followers and subscribers. And
and I do have one thing too. This is something that's kind of special because Jose and Jen both received something that most people don't.
Yeah.
And it was pretty awesome. I got to, do videos and photo shoots and all that stuff. And then you had your thing that I almost spit my drink out when I watched you do it. But I'll let you two explain what yes. special thing you got. Because it was, to me, seeing her reaction, it was an honor. Really.
Well, I'll tell you right now, that project was a pain in my butt.
I bet it was.
It got dumped in my lap. I was not part of the planning or anything, but all of a sudden it got dumped in my lap, and they said, hey, by the way, you need to coordinate with Bill Dance and do this and do that and do that. I'm like, okay, let's go. So that's what we did. And so, I'm so glad that, so I'll tell the story for you, Jen, but I was sitting here and Bill Dance's team sent me a list. Hey, these are the people we want to send it out to. I said, all right, cool. And I look and I saw Jen Muse.
No way.
I was like, and it said emailed but not responded. And I texted her, and for some reason she didn't have my number saved or whatever. She's like, who is this? And I sent a picture of me. I was like, hey. She's like, what is this about? And I was like, well, your name was on the Bill Dance list from them. So it wasn't for me. So if someone tries to say, oh, it's because you know Jose, no, absolutely not. She was selected by Bill Dance's team to receive one of these PR boxes.
You guys, I couldn't believe it. I didn't even believe Jose. I'm like, whatever. I will call them and I will check. And I am like, no, it really was. Jose had me in tears. I was like, man, is this real? Tell him what we got. Tell him what it was.
So yeah, it's a box, you know, but it's got Bill Dance's 3 straight shades of fishing glasses in it. But when you open it, there's a special message in there. It's an actual video there. I've never seen anything like that in my life.
That was something else.
It's got a USB.
Oh man, I showed and look at it.
Yeah,
I was so blown away by it. I really was.
It's amazing. The planning and everything that went into that, you know, shout out to that team that actually thought of that and planned that. So, you know, I wish I could take credit.
No, it was good.
But I did have to manually upload every single video to every single box. And
I know.
and all that. So that was a pain in my butt, but it was well worth it. And, you know, that's something we'll never make again. And so, yeah, Jen, you should be so proud that you have that, because only X amount was made and not everyone gets one.
Well, and to be honest with you, I got it. I actually get a wear pair every now and then because I'm allowed to. But they are legit. I mean, they are good stuff. They're comfortable.
The most comfortable I've ever worn. Guys, got kind of have that cheek. You know, I smile a lot, so
They're stylish too.
They don't touch my lens. They don't touch my face. They set really nice. They are. I also feel like I can't breathe if your glasses are too heavy. You know, like on your nose, and they're super light.
Oh, and they're great. And you could look at some of my videos. A lot of my videos, I'm wearing Bill Dance's glasses just because I love them.
Oh man, they're good.
I love the other ones.
I do have to tell you, and you will not believe this, but I actually missed one of my biggest fishes ever. Okay? Because I had a new
you're wearing the sunglasses.
I had the new glasses on.
Jen has never been a sunglass person. I try getting her. I'm like, you're out in the water.
Well,
put
I'm
on
blind
sunglasses.
in one of my eyes, and it really causes me like it's almost like, say you're kind of deaf and somebody wants you to wear earmuffs for a day, like you can't hear. Like I feel like it. But I finally found a pair that I really like.
They're awesome. They work well. I mean,
I've been wearing the green pair, and I don't take them off. So Dustin tried telling me it was because they were from Bill Dance. You might be right, but they're so good. And you guys, so I'm fishing, right? Big brush pile out in front of me, but I'm kind of creeped out about all the things I'm seeing.
She's never seen that.
I see it, I do, and I've used them, but I never stick with it, right? Because I'm like, I don't know. I feel like they're either too tight or they hurt my face. These are great. These are really good.
They are.
Anyway, I threw past. I'm fishing a buzzbait. And this fish came right at me, like, ooh, it looked 3D through my glasses. Like I was like, ah! I missed the back, and that's because I saw it. Like it gave it so much depth and perception, and I'm blind, so I don't really have perception. You know, one of my eyes is blind. So I noticed, I suddenly had perception and depth, and all of a sudden the fish was right in my boat. Like I missed it. I just jerked the whole bait out of the fish's mouth because the glasses were so true to clear and so like 3D that I missed the damn fish.
Too funny. They are great though. They are great, and I love them. And yeah, if you guys want to see exactly what the boxes are, you know, check out our socials where we posted them, because they are absolutely
and that message, the message that he had on that box, was top notch. I mean, and
I was blown away by that. That melted my heart to pieces. I couldn't even get through. We were on the phone, and I was like, "What?" Anyway, what an exceptional gift and an honor. I didn't even care what anybody thought. I was like on cloud nine. I'm like, but that's so. It was definitely an honor to do that. I wanted to do it justice. There's 100 videos that I did not choose of myself because I was just an absolute dweeb bag on how mushy and lovable. I was like, oh my gosh, look what I got. No, like, maybe people won't like that.
Like, no, we gotta retake.
Oh man, it was good. I wanted to do a really good job because I was really blown away by just and then I didn't know you got one. I didn't realize it was so special for you to get that. I was just excited to see all that stuff.
Well, I just used it for myself. I mean, they were all at my house. So
Oh,
they're like,
I was
you need to
blown
post
away
one
by
also.
the.
And I was like, okay, I'll make a post also.
And you know what? Some of the people that were also chosen have contacted me, and they're like, "It's awesome, you got one. I got one too." And I'm like, especially who was it? It's Martinez Hudson, right?
Oh
Martinez,
yeah, yeah. Oh,
King of Bass. So I
he
love
was on
him.
the list
He's
also. So on that
he
original
is a,
list, you two were on that list, and I was like, I know these two.
oh my goodness! Like he came up to me. I followed him for years, right? But you know, I hate to disappoint people, but the only reason it came up with the real Queen is because I opened a store on TikTok and it had to have a different name, and it wouldn't let you use what you had, and I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to call myself? I don't have a name, do I?
Well, I even asked her, I'm like, did you start a new profile called The Real Queen or what?
I'm like,
Because
no,
this is
that's my
like thing to
store.
do.
Like, it's the only way I could start a store, and now it calls me that, and I'll have to change everything. So
So
it
it
kind of
sticks.
just sticks, and I still am Kayak for Life Gen Muse, but the real queen. But he's the king of bass, so
Yeah.
he's always given me a hard time about being the queen, you know, the real queen if he's the king of bass. So
Yeah, for
the
sure.
heck of a he's got a good social presence too. He's a good dude.
Yeah, he's
So.
a good guy for sure.
Well, we've been on here for an hour and 10 minutes, and I don't want to hold y'all up too much because I know that with it being 6 o'clock here, it was 5 o'clock y'all's time, and I know y'all still want to go and spend some time with the family, and
Yeah.
Jen's probably itching to be able to get out on the water for a little bit.
I will. I'll be out there. I can fish at night too, but it's still windy. I can see the trees are.
There's no how.
It's howling, so probably not. Maybe.
Right. But Jose, man, I cannot thank you enough for coming on. We'll have to get you to come back on again. And if you are ever in the Chattanooga area, you need to holler at me. And I mean, you've always got a place to stay. And
Appreciate that.
so we'll go.
He doesn't bite that hard. We stayed with him. He's all right.
I just nibble. But for sure, I mean, we'll go out on Chickamauga. We've got Chickamauga, Nickajack, and Gunnersville, all a stone's throw from the house, and
that's awesome.
So, but we have one question that we ask everybody that comes on here. Jen and Dustin has answered this question a couple of times. So, Jose, it is your time to answer. If you have one person for the day to fish with you on the boat, on the bank, kayak fishing, or whatever, can be living or have passed away, who would that be, and why would you want them on the boat?
Oh, you know, I mean, of course, my mind runs to Bill Dance, but obviously, I want to fish with my dad. I lost my father a long time ago. He's, you know, the typical story of me growing up with the Snoopy pole, right? We didn't have Spider-Man poles back when we were young. We had Snoopy poles. So growing up with the Snoopy pole and his passion for fishing, he passed away while I was still in the Army. So, you know, going from taking me to shows and doing this and stuff and watching TV and, you know, like I wish I wish he was alive to see me do what I do now, fishing for a living and making it in the industry. That and to, you know, talk to him about my kids and everything. My oldest son followed his footsteps, and he's a union iron worker just like he was. And so, like, if I could get on the boat and, like, man, look what Andrew followed your footsteps. Hey, look, I'm in the fishing. I wish I could talk to him about that one more time. Not to get too mushy, but I miss my dad. I miss him like crazy.
He's watching. He's proud of you.
I appreciate that.
And the thing is like my dad. I talked to my dad about this and stuff because both my grandfathers, I would love to have them on the boat. Both of them have passed, but to have them on my boat nowadays, like with the technology and stuff, would just blow their mind. And the baits and stuff that we have now would just, I mean, they would not believe it. I mean, because my dad's dad, I mean, he fished Lake Fork when I think it was either Lake Fork or Rayburn, right after it was made. And we've got pictures of him to where, and this will make y'all sick. but he's got to where they would hold like boards. You know how like back in the day they would have boards, and they would just have like 8-pounders just hanging up on these boards. He had
Yeah.
like 10 of them on the board of monster bass. And that's where I got the love of Texas rigging, is because that's what he learned out there. And then he
one of
brought it
those,
back
Paul.
home.
See what happens.
Yeah. And so, but to even just see how the baits and the technology, I mean, because they grew up triangulate and everything, and now we just pull up to a wave point. And so,
Yeah.
so I definitely understand that, Jose. But again, I cannot thank you enough for what you do and the time that you have taken, not just for coming on the podcast, but for at the classic and stuff. I guarantee you guys that I probably spent 45 minutes to an hour just talking to him, and that means so much to me, that to know that you've got a big following, and you care enough for the people that you still want to talk to them. You're not too big for the situation. And I really do appreciate it. And again, for what you've done for the podcast, and then at the classic and stuff. I cannot wait to see you here in July at ICAST.
Absolutely.
I want to. Jen and Dustin and I are going to be down there, and we're going to be doing some more filming. And so I'm going to have to get some more footage of you, and maybe we can go grab a bite to eat or something like that afterwards sometime.
Yeah, I'd enjoy that for sure.
But Jen and Dustin, thank you for taking the time and for doing this. It really means a lot. They have. Here in the past year, Jose, they have become more of the Deck Talk brothers and sisters, because they've really helped out with the marketing and stuff. Since I've had them come on as my marketing team, it has just blown up to where, over 1,800 people watching live. I would have never thought. So, but guys, thank you so much. And remember, God loves you as if you were the only person in this world to love. And we will see you out on the water, and have a blessed day, guys.